Hey everyone, this is Wingspan TT, and it's time for Game 2, or rather Games 3 and 4 of the Cloudburst deck for Magic the Gathering, Duels of the Planeswalkers, 2012, DLC 1, and I'm going to stick with this hand. Alright, I've been playing around with the cards in the deck a little, and I will post on TopTierTactics.com my thoughts about each actual card and what deck composition is best. But I did stick with this hand. I did have one of each land, which is one of my things. I had a little more land than I prefer, but it's always better to have too much land than too little land. Obviously, there's always extremes, but I have a nice burn card in the Spark Mage Apprentice. I had an actual creature to cast here, the Stormcrow. If people diss the Stormcrow, let me tell you something. When I was playing Magic 5th Edition or whatever, Stormcrow, City of Brass, alright, that shit was real, okay? You notice I cast the Stormcrow first, so people will be like, whoa, Spark Mage Apprentice is better. Well, smarty pants, you didn't see this coming. The reason you keep Spark Mage Apprentice in your hand is so that when she comes out and does her lovely, magical, fiery flamenco dance of death, it can just, you know, I guess shoot some flares, or look at those beautiful sparklers at your enemy's creatures. And, you know, usually when you cast the Spark Mage, it's usually a 1-1 or a 2-1 or something like that on the board by then, because she's such an early to cast creature. And here we go, he's going to draw some cards, that's fine by me. So I have a pretty good board position right now. He drew 2 cards, I have 2 creatures on the board, I have Into the Royal, so whatever he casts Into the Royal is going to mess him up. Now, I just drew that card that you can also return a permanent, any permanent to his hand. I might hold on to that, if only because, you know, because he's playing the Illusions deck, which everyone's like, it's top tier deck, best deck in the game. I'm not going to deny that. I definitely think it's one of the best decks in the game, if not the best deck in the game. Now, since he has no counters, he has nothing else, I'm just going to get the Arc Runner out on the table while I can. Arc Runner, 3 mana, 5/1 haste, and it dies at the end. Not the best card, not the worst card. I mean, 3 mana for 5 damage. People use the Lava Axe, which is 5 mana for 5 damage. So I think that's a pretty good deal. He's going to cast a 2/3 Phantom, which I think is one of the worst cards in that deck. I don't include that in my Illusions deck when I play Illusions. Not that I play Illusions very frequently, but when I do. I don't always play Illusions, but when I do, I sure as fuck don't keep that Phantom in my deck. So I'm just going to attack with the Crow. I'm not going to use Into the Royal or the other bounce just yet, because I just don't know what he's going to play. And in my opinion, getting Spellbound Dragon on the table is much better. Spellbound Dragon, great fucking card. A lot of people overlook this card. Yes, 5 mana for 3/5 flying is not a great deal. The fact that you need to discard cards in order to make it deal decent damage, also not a great deal. But you know what a great deal is? A great deal is being able to draw an extra card every turn, and that's what this dragon affords you. Alright, every time he attacks, you draw a card and then discard a card. When you discard a card, he gets more powerful. But more importantly, you know, every time he attacks, he gets more powerful. You get to dig deeper in your deck to find the cards you need to win. Alright, and your enemy takes more damage, and a good time is had by all. And by all, I mean you. Alright, I should guess, I'm considering, do I want another island on the table? Right now I have a lot of expensive stuff, so probably. But you just want to consider, do you want to keep extra cards in your hand so that when you actually use the dragon, you have more options for discard. Now, he obviously can't counterspell anything. He does have 7 cards in hand, but he's tapped out, so I'm just going to drop the island. And you know what? Electrode. Electrode will present some interesting opportunities. Once I have Electrode on the board, he basically can't cast any of those guys that are like die once they're targeted. He just can't cast them because Electrode will kill them instantly. Now the bad part about what I just did is he knows now, out of the 3 cards in my hand, he knows what one of them is. He knows it's the dragon. So obviously if I cast the dragon, I would still have 3 secret cards in my hand. But in general, I would say unless you have 2 or fewer cards in hand, that's not really a major consideration. I mean, okay, now he's gonna get this 2/2 guy on the board. But what he doesn't know, ha ha ha. Now, some people might bounce the better card there. What I'm going to do is bounce my Spark Mage Apprentice and bounce the 2/3 creature. The Spark Mage, being able to be cast once again, will be able to do her 1 damage to kill off the creature. So essentially, this trade wins is going to cost him an entire turn where he's going to cast this guy again. This is about pacing. This is about the clock of the game. You know, people are like, oh, you just bounced the card. I cost him his whole friggin' turn. Alright? I'm going to cost him 2 of his turns, because when I cast my Spark Mage again, she's going to kill the creature that he just spent all turn casting. All he did this turn was play that stupid little spirit. I'm just going to look at his graveyard, see the stuff he's been throwing away, just get an idea. When you see the cards that people have been throwing away, A, you can kind of get a better guess of what they... Oh, he just threw away a free turn? Who the hell would throw away Time Warp? I guess if you're really desperate, he's got 7 cards in his hand, and he threw away a card that gives him a free turn. I can't even fathom that. Now, I didn't actually use the Spark Mage here. Now, he's going to use Curfew. Alright, everyone's got to return creature to their hand. Alright, that's fine. That's fine with me. I guess I'll return Stormcrow. It's like, oh, do I want to do something to, like, kill his creature anyway? Nah, it's not a big deal. He can't target it, so he gets to save his creature. I'll get the Stormcrow back. Electro is too good of a card to not use. And guess what, buddy? I've got that dragon. You may have forgotten, Addy0on, whatever your name is, about this dragon, but he didn't forget about you. And I guess I can forget about my connection being any good. Spellbound Dragon, great card. Great art. Look at that art. Oh my god. And that's it. Yeah, the game's over. So, he just saw the art. Okay? He just saw the art and he knew it was over. He's like, god damn, I just jizzed my pants. Look at how beautiful that dragon is. And now I'm going to have to go clean my pants. So I'm sorry, Wingspan TT. I'm just going to concede this game. Well played. Well played indeed. Alright, let's go into Game 4. Game 4 with Cloudburst deck. Cloudburst, fun name. It has that Ravnica feel to it. And I know that whatever the Planeswalker guy... you see, I didn't even consider the last hand. It's just like, you know, this hand just sucks. There's not enough land. I'm just going to ditch it. And look how I was greatly rewarded. Now, I have been tuning the deck very carefully, not just to have the best cards. I did take some cards that I didn't think were the best cards, but in order to have an equal number of islands and mountains in the deck, to decrease the odds that I would get hands with 0 mountains or 0 islands. So once again, if you visit toptiertactics.com, maybe not tomorrow, but sometime this week, I'm going to have a little bit more insight into the actual deck building I've done here. All right, he pays 2 for 2/1 Flying Pegasus, and I'm going to pay 2 for my Fiery Flamenco Dancer that ruins his life. Now he's playing the Auramancer deck, which many people are considering to be one of the best decks in the game right now. It's very powerful. So going up against it with Cloudburst, the worst deck in the game, oh, I guess I have no chance to win. Of course, now watch, I talk like an asshole like this, and then I'm going to get destroyed. I just want everyone to know also, I don't like really cherry pick my games. Yes, you know, there are games that I don't put up where the game goes on for 40 minutes, and I'm not going to split some game into, 3 different videos on YouTube to force you to watch it. This isn't some pro StarCraft match that's actually worth watching for 40 minutes. So I don't put up those kind of matches. I don't usually put up matches that end in like 20 seconds, unless they're absolutely hilarious. And you have to understand, yeah, I lose games. Obviously, if I lose a game where I just got like mana screwed to the point where I drew 12 lands in a row, I don't post those kind of games because they're not educational. You know, like, you're not going to learn anything from watching me curse at the screen for 12 turns in a row as I draw 12 islands, and that has happened. But I will say this, I played Cloudburst yesterday, and these are some of the games. Well, no, I played today. These I'm playing now, but what I'm saying, when I mean these are part of the games, is I've been on this win streak with Cloudburst now. I've basically, out of the last 25 games I've played, I must have won about 22 of them. And the other 3 were pretty close games. Now look at this. What I love about Cloudburst is that, okay, he spent his whole turn casting these 2 cards. He's got Rancor, great card, Urza Saga set. I definitely, oh god, lifelink. So he's now, Cloudburst fucks up Auramancer so hard because bounce and burn both destroy the whole concept. Alright, the bounce and burn destroy the whole concept of what Auramancer does, which is to stack shit on single creatures. So he spent his whole turn on this. Goodbye, your turn's over, and I draw a card. Alright, your creature's gone. Murder of Crows shows up. And for anyone who's... And Murder of Crows, great card, by the way. It just goes to show you how bad Air Elemental is that Murder of Crows exists. Murder of Crows is the technical, like, zoological name for a group of crows. Just like you have, like, a pod of dolphins, you have a murder of crows. I don't know who came up with it. Probably Edgar Allan Poe. Don't bet on it. Now see, so he's going to try to enchant this shit to make it invincible. But with the power of instant magic, I am going to kill it first. Alright, Murder of Crows is going to trigger. And here's the thing, and we used to use this term fizzle back in the day. When you kill the creature in response, that enchantment's got nowhere to go. It just goes straight to the graveyard. It's got no valid targets. It goes away. I threw away my second elixir there. There's no point in having 2 elixirs on the battlefield. The whole point is they recycle. When I use that first elixir that's on the table, it's going to recycle the other one back to the deck. That's the beauty of the elixirs. So you really can't go wrong either way. Now, you notice I've kept this bounce card in my hand. I'm just going to wait. He's going to cast something. I'm going to waste this whole turn. This bounce card is great. A lot of people were like, oh, I'd rather have Curfew. No, this thing can... Look at this. Yeah, he's got this 4/4. Now, some people would just bounce this right now. Like, they're just going to bounce this 4/4 right now. But I would rather wait. Now, see, sometimes there's this graphical glitch where you can't see what they're casting. But he's trying to enchant it. So, no. So that's why I didn't bounce it right away. I wanted him to waste another card enchanting it. And, guys, I'm Wingspan TT. This is Duels of Planeswalkers 2012. This is how you play Cloudburst, and I hope you'll come to TopTierTactics.com to learn more. Like this video, favorite this video, come to my channel, and thanks for visiting. I'll see you on the battlefield.